Oh, good. But I can hear you. How's the network now? It's not muted, it's rotating. Can you hear me? It's not muted, it's rotating. Network. What about YouTube? Is that mine is rotating as well? Can you hear me now? Okay. Oh, good. All right. So I said I was defining what SWIFTtrip is. Yes, it's back. I was defining what SWIFTtrip is. And we say SWIFTtrip is a Web 3.0 decentralized mobility and commerce service providing platform. Okay? Commerce service providing business. Now, I've been able to define what mobility is. Now, I was defining commerce, which is simply buying and selling. Commerce is what? Buying and selling. Now, every one of us know, or every one of us in one way or the other, we've performed or we are performing commerce. It's either we are buying or we are selling. Those things they are practicing at the market is what? Commerce. You go to the market, you purchase something. What you just practice is commerce. You buy and you purchase something. Those practice work is what we call commerce. Now, once this commerce is brought into the online space, that is when it is considered as what? E-commerce. Now, what is Web 3.0? Web 3.0 is simply the new or the latest version of the internet that is decentralized. Decentralized in the sense that it gives you, as an owner of this app, the privilege to perform your transaction anytime without the need of a middleman, without the need of the admin. You perform transaction, you place your withdrawal anytime, any day, anywhere. You are in control, and I don't just mean control, in total control of whatever activities that you want to perform. You don't need anybody's validation. So that is the definition of SWIFT, a Web 3.0 decentralized mobility and commerce service providing platform. Now, it is very important you note this. The services that we are rendering that is capable of making us trillionaires in dollars. What are the services that we are rendering? I'm not saying what is the service. No, I mean what are the services SWIFTtrip is rendering. This is very important for you to know, so you can then know if it's possible for this business to make me a trillionaire in dollars, or am I just blabbing, or are we just blabbing? You ought to know the services that company is rendering before you venture into it, then to see if all of those things they are telling you, if it's possible through the services they are rendering. Some persons will say, I don't want to be, or I don't want to venture in online businesses because of the experience they had in the past. Sama, every one of us had ugly experiences. But because we don't give up, because we are preparing for that future. Because we are preparing for that retirement age, that is why we keep pushing, we keep forging ahead and seeing. And when we saw this opportunity in SWIFTtrip, we knew this is the last bus stop. This is the last bus stop. Because everything we want in SWIFTtrip, everything we want is in SWIFTtrip. It is going to change your life for good. And it wants a better future for you and I. It's promising a better future for you and I. A future that will make people ask us questions. How did you do it? How possible is it? That is SWIFTtrip for you. Now, what are SWIFTtrip core services? Let's quickly look at that. These are the services we are rendering. The aviation, the e-taxi, the e-commerce, the logistics, and what? The hospitality business. These are the services that we are rendering. Now, when we're talking about aviation, we are simply talking about the airport business. We are going to own our own airport. We will own our own airport that will operate both locally and what? Internationally. Amazing. Imagine you being an owner of an airport. Can you alone be an owner of an airport? No. But if you come together and build this with us, you will see indeed that collaboration is the new kind of currency. Because if they are to leave you alone, sir, ma, you cannot own an airport for yourself. So in SWIFTtrip, you have the opportunity to be an owner of an airport if you subscribe, if you venture into the business with us, if you decide to be a shareholder of this business. And not just that, you also have the privilege to be an owner of an e-taxi business, which is the road transport. The road transport. Are there companies that are into the e-taxi business? Yes, as you can see on the Uber, the Bolt, and many other that you know, enviable, InDrive. These are e-taxi platforms that you can book your ride anywhere, any day. You just connect with a driver and they will come pick you wherever you are and take you to your destination. These are businesses that are already in existence. That is why we can show to you companies that are already into this line of business. If we go back to the aviation, we have the like of Airpeace, we have the like of Eric that are already in the aviation business, and many more. We have lots of them because we cannot count the number of airports we have today in the world. So you shouldn't miss out on SWIFTtrip. Now that's not all. Remember, we have 5 services. This is the second one. Then the third one is the commerce. The same thing I just explained not long ago to you. Buying and selling, and once it's brought online, it is then considered as what? E-commerce, electronic commerce. Now, with this platform, you can purchase, you can sell whatever you want to sell online. Anytime, anyway, any day rather. You don't necessarily need to go to the shop before you buy or sell anything. No. Just with your device, at the comfort of wherever you are, you press 1 or 2 buttons, you swipe 1 or 2 pages, then you purchase whatever you want to purchase. Are there companies that are already into this business? Yes, we have Amazon, we have Jumia, we have eBay, we have a lot of them, we have Gigi, Konga, a whole lot of them out there. These are platforms that are rendering the commerce service, the buying and selling service. And the fourth one is what? The logistics. This is a platform where your product, your goods can be moved from one country to another. If you have someone in Abuja, in Nigeria here, and you said, oh, you want to get something, you want to send something to that person there in Abuja, with the logistic platform, that will be done without the need of you going there. If you have someone in the United Kingdom and you want to send a parcel or something to that person over there, with the help of the logistics, you don't need to fly over to the United Kingdom. You just, with the help of the platform, that thing will be conveyed and give it to the person over there. That is technology. That's the power of technology. That is the power of owning a system. Are there companies that are into the logistic business? Yes, we have ops. We have the DHL. We have God is Good Logistics. We have FedEx. These are logistics platforms. It's not new. It's not new. Then the fifth one is the hospitality, which we consider as what? Swift homes, hotels. These are the 5 major services we are rendering in SWIFTtrip: the aviation, the e-taxi, the e-commerce and logistics, and the hotel business, and many more services to come in the future. Of course, I can't start naming hotels for you because we know a whole lot of them out there. We know a whole lot of hotels out there, both the one on your street, the one at your workplace, the one that is close to your church. We have a lot of them. So with SWIFTtrip, you have the privilege with just a token to own all of these 5 services. We are not saying that you're going to own all of these 5 services we're talking about. No, you own the 5 services. The 5 services. If I am to ask you a question, Sama, if you have the opportunity to be an owner of just one of these services you are rendering, I mean, if you have the opportunity to own just one, can you compare your finance now to what it would have been if you own just one of these services? Let's say the aviation business, or the e-taxi business, or the logistics business, or the e-commerce business. You want to talk about the hotel business? Sama, you can't in any way compare your finance. You can't. Your financial blueprint must have been elevated. Your finance must have what? Appreciated times, I don't know, times 50, times 100. You'll be spending money. You'll be investing. You'll be looking for where to spend your money. If you own just one of these services you're rendering, why? Because the money there, the inflow of money there is something you can't just comprehend. And coupled with the fact that these services are not just local services, are not just going to operate in a nation. It's a global business. Global business. A global business. I just can't wait when we launch the e-taxi and the hospitality first. Because if you go to our website, you'll see that we're not starting all the business at once. No, we will be launching this business with the e-taxi, or we'll launch first the e-taxi and the hospitality. Then you have a taste of what we are talking about in the future. This is something that will change our finance, that will change our personalities for life. You will be the first trillionaire in your family. Do not miss SWIFTtrip. For any reason, don't miss SWIFTtrip for any reason. So I want to ask, has SWIFTtrip gone live? Has SWIFTtrip launched business? Is SWIFTtrip in operation? You want to know? We have an answer to that. No, SWIFTtrip is currently at its development vision phase and calls for subscribers to facilitate business development, to facilitate the launch of business. We are the vision phase, and that is where you can say this is an opportunity. That is where you can call it an opportunity. Why? Because we are still at the vision phase. And some persons will say they don't want to be part of startup businesses because they are not sure if the business will come to reality. Sam, I want to tell you, if that business has come to reality and to you ventured into it, when you can see or when the business is in operation, Sam, that is no longer an opportunity. The opportunity is gone. Why? Because you cannot compare what you will earn to those early birds that saw or that keyed into it when it was just an idea. when it was just an idea. You just can't compare what you will earn with those persons. And do not think you'll be getting it at the same rate at which they got. No, at which they got it, no. You will get it way more expensive than they got it. Just like Uber. When they told Kevin Hart to be a shareholder, to come partner with them, to come be a shareholder, a co-owner with them, he said that's the stupidest shit he has ever heard. That's the stupidest shit he has ever heard. Now, he's regretting today, despite the fact that he has a lot of money. He has missed that opportunity for life. He cannot go back to be the early founder of what's it called? Uber. He can't. Even if he's a shareholder now in Uber, he just can't compare what he will be earning to those early birds. There are people who missed out on startup businesses like Coca-Cola and many more out there because they claim to be too wise. Please, we are telling you to keep your wiseness one side and follow us in the actualization of this business. And who is this for? It is for those that are preparing for the retirement age. It is for those that can see what we are showing to them, because in SWIFTtrip, all we can do is to just show it to you. It is left for you to decide if you want to be part of that greatness we've shown to you or not. And SWIFTtrip, you are responsible for whatever decision you make. We don't force you to become part of it. We only show it to you. If it resonates with you, then it is for you. And if it doesn't, it is not for you, because we know that like minds will definitely attract like minds. Yes. And unlike minds, what? Will repair. So this is for that student, this is for that mommy, that daddy, that uncle, that sister, that auntie that can see what we are showing to them. People that are already preparing for their retirement age. That age whereby they will be using walking stick. That age that they can no longer move from one junction to the other. Those are the people we are talking about. People that are prepared, that they don't want to just sit and start calling their children, please, I need money for medication. Please, I need this. Please, I need that. No. They want to be financially buoyant, that they will even be the one to lend to people at that retirement age. How beautiful it will be that you are in your 100, you're in your 90s, and you're seated, you're in your 70s, in your 80s, and you're seated. You are not waiting for any child to come put food on your table. Instead, you are the one giving to people. How amazing, how sweet and beautiful it will be. How many of us are envisaging for that kind of future? How many of us are planning for that future? Because if you don't plan it, you can never future in it. If you cannot picture it, you cannot what? Future in it. You need to picture it first. This is for everybody that can see what we are showing to them. Now is the opportunity that now that is at the vision phase, that is when it's an opportunity. And we say, do not miss SWIFTtrip for any reason. Now quickly want to show us the subscription plan in SWIFTtrip. How much can I come into this business to be an owner of all of these 5 services? How much can I come into this business to be an owner of all of these 5 services? And we say with as low as $180, which is the subscription fee. $180, you can be an owner of these 5 services and more that are to come in the future. These 5 services and more. Now, from this $180, once you pay the $180, you are getting something in exchange. And what are you getting? Your ownership percentage, which is very, very important. Why? Because You are simply earning according to your percentage from every transaction that happens. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You're simply earning from every transaction according to your percentage. This is not the usual kind of shares that people used to buy. And maybe at the end of the year they will call shareholders meeting, and an accountant or whoever will then come and read out whatever and tell you, okay, this is what you earn, this is what you get, this is what was spent, this was what it was spent on, this was whatever. They can just manipulate figure and just come tell you, and then you will notice that these shareholders are getting minor commission, or should I call it commission, or minor profit. But the same CEO, the same owners, those stoppers that are also shareholders of that business, you will see them flying here and there. Why? Because they manipulated the figure. Whatever they read to you, that is what you will believe. Because you cannot stand up and tell them, sir, it's a lie, you did not do that thing. Ma, it's a lie, you did not do that. Why? You can't. This is not your regular kind of shares. In SWIFTtrip, you are simply earning according to your percentage in the company. Just imagine, some person will tell you that they bought shares in banks, but it's not yielding anything. That is because of what I just said. Whatever they come, they'll just come and reach to you and tell you, okay, this is what you get. Have you imagined, or have you just think about this, that if those money they take from charges, because if you deposit money, they will charge you. If you withdraw money, they will still charge you. If they can just give you some fraction, some 0.00 whatever from all of those charges, Sama, from every transaction that happens from that particular banks, you can never compare your finance to what you're experiencing now. That is why we say SWIFTtrip, it's one of a kind. It's second to none. $180 and you own what? 0.0 in 5 places, 125%. Like I said, you're earning from every transaction. Whether it happens in Nigeria, in Congo, in China, in Dubai, in Canada, in Australia, we don't care to know. So long as you're a shareholder, you're simply earning according to your percentage from all transactions. The aviation, e-taxi, logistics, e-commerce, and what? Hospitality. And we call this $180 slot the node slot. And let me still break this $180 for you. From this $180, $100 is the project fee. That is untouchable. While $80 is what? The campaign sponsorship fund. Campaign sponsorship fund. This is the money that will be used for advertisement. For shareholders that are campaigning about SWIFTtrip, this is the money that will be paid to them, this $80. And you cannot say, oh, I don't want to campaign about SWIFTtrip, can I just pay $100? No, sir, man, it's not possible. You cannot also say, okay, I don't want to own the 5 services, I want to own just 1 or 2 services. Can I pay $10 or $50 or whatever dollars you want to mention? No. The $180 covers for every time. We are not selling service by service. We are not saying if you want to buy 2 services, you go to no. With $180, you have the opportunity to own all of these lucrative services. How amazing! And yet you will say you don't want to be part of it. Can you own an airport for 1 million naira today? No. You can't. What would they do with your 1 million naira? But in SWIFTtrip, we are giving the privilege to own it for as low as $180, not even up to 300,000 naira. Don't miss SWIFTtrip, because if you do, you will never forget the name SWIFTtrip. So quickly, we want to look at when will SWIFTtrip go live? When are we going to launch this business? Let's look at it. We say SWIFTtrip profit share is 5% in volume. Business launch is at the sales of 3%. Yes, it's as simple as that. We spelled it out. We will be launching this business at the sales of what? 3%. It's a milestone. We are not saying we are launching this business December. We are not saying we will launch this business in 2 months' time. We are not saying we will launch this business in 5 years' time. We are just setting a milestone that at the sales of 3%, from this 5% that is available, we will launch business at the sales of 3%. And this 3%, there are numbers of individuals that are tied to this 3%. And what's the number? 2.4 million subscribers. Now, if you read down, you will see, thus, the launch of SWIFTtrip is embedded in a milestone of 2.4 million subscribers. Yes. 2.4 million subscribers. And how is that? Let's look at this. We say we are launching business at the sales of at least 3%, right? What does it mean? We have 5% available. Now we are saying that if we can sell 3% of this 5%, we will launch this business. And we also say that this 3%, we have numbers of persons that will consume this to make it 3%. And what is that? 2.4 million people. How do we get that? We simply do 3 divided by your ownership percentage, which is 0.0 in 5 places 125. If you do that division, 3 divided by that percentage, 0.05 places 125%, you will get 2,400,000. That is 1 person to 1 unit. It simply means if we bring 2.4 million persons and share to them 0.05 places 125%, if we sum it up together to give us what? 3%. It will give us what? 3. So long 1 person is entitled to 1 unit. It is 1 person to 1 unit. You cannot own more than 1 unit in SWIFTtrip. No. 1 subscriber, 1 unit. If you have a lot of money, share to your friends, your family members, where they themselves will own 1 unit. Buy for them, buy for your sisters, buy for your siblings, buy for your parents. In SWIFTtrip, you just can't own more than 1 unit. Even if Jeff Bezos comes today and say he wants to be a shareholder in SWIFTtrip, guess how much he will pay? $180. Nothing more, nothing less. 1 person to 1 unit. If he decides to employ the entire citizen of his country, good and fine, buy for them, but he should know that is 1 person to 1 unit. So we say do not miss SWIFTtrip. I believe this is well understood. And we say we will be launching this business in Nigeria and the United Kingdom. These will be our first 2 countries of launch before we then scale globally. So you can see that it's a global business. We're not just going to launch in Nigeria, but we are launching in Nigeria and the United Kingdom. And we will also tell you we can even launch in more than these 2 countries on that day of launch. We will launch in more than 2 countries on that day of launch. Okay, so these are certificates, the CAC certificate, the EFCC certificate, and then the United Kingdom certificate. You can also look at it carefully. You can also look at it, and if you want to get this, you can just check our Telegram channel, and you will see the certificate. So you can also go to your findings, as you can see the reg number there, both on the United Kingdom certificate and that of the CAC. Okay, so that being said, we've talked about all of this, where we are. We've talked about what SWIFTtrip is. So we want to quickly look at this now. What makes SWIFTtrip unique? What makes SWIFTtrip stand out from others? And who are the others? Let me bring to your notice that the services we are rendering, there are people that are already into those services. True or false? Of course. That is why when we talk about the aviation business, we can tell you, we can mention 1, 2, 3 companies that are already in the aviation business. Example, Airpeace, Eric, ValueJet, and a whole lot more. When we talk about the e-taxi, we have Uber, Bolt, InDrive. When we talk about the e-commerce, we have Alibaba, Jumia, Gigi. When we talk about the logistics, we have Ops, we have DHL, we have FedEx. When we talk about hospitality, which is hotel business, we have the one in your area, we have the one in my area, we have the one in this area. Okay, so we have a lot of them out there in the world today. Now, what is that thing that will make us stand out, that by the time we launch business, we won't come and start competing with these people, knowing that these people, they've already been in this business for years, and people have known them, they've gained weight, they've already made their name. So what is that thing that we are coming in with that will make Mr. A patronize us and not patronize that same company that is rendering the same service as us? Now let's look at this. That thing that makes SWIFTtrip stand out from other companies. We are doing what? Introducing the PYC. What does it stand for? Pay your customers. I bet you haven't heard of it before if you are new here. The PYC, pay your customers. Now, we are the first company that will put our customers on payroll. Before now, what you are used to is the KYC. The KYC, which is know your customers. And we SWIFTtrip as a company, we are saying it is not enough for you to know your customers. Knowing them does not add any value to them. This is the era whereby you put these customers on payrolls, that whenever they patronize you as a company, they earn from that patronage. It has never happened before. We are the first company globally, we are not saying Nigeria, I'm not saying in Africa, I mean globally, to put our customers on payroll. Why? Because we've come to understand that without these customers, we have no business. Without these customers, we will not be able to settle or offset some bills. Yes, they are very important to us. They are as important as the workers. They're as important as the CEO, because if you come into a business and nobody patronizes you, then sir, man, you're doing nothing. Exactly, you're doing nothing. So it's the time we have to consider these customers and put them on payroll, that anytime, it does not matter how many times, anytime they patronize us, they simply earn from that patronage. Never has it happened before. SWIFTtrip is the first company, and we'll quickly look at how this is going to work. So if you are imagining, let me help you. We want to have a diagram, or we have a diagram here, and we want to imagine that SWIFTtrip has launched business and a transaction happens in Nigeria, and this transaction that happened in Nigeria cost let's say 8,000 naira. The transaction cost 8,000 naira. Now, how will this passenger who booked the ride earn? How will the driver who rendered that service earn? How will you and I as shareholders earn? How will the company earn? That is what we want to quickly show to you now. And in SWIFTtrip, our customers will call them what? Profit generators. Yes, they are the profit generators. While our drivers are what? The service providers. They are rendering the service, right? Yes. So they are what? The service providers. Now let's look at this. Whatever a passenger paid, whatever the profit generator pays, is what? Considered as 100%. That is where you see the green arrow. The green arrow. The green arrow. The money was paid to the platform provider. And who is the platform provider? The company, right? So let's look at it this way. 100% goes down, was paid. This 100% is how much? 80,000 naira. No, 8,000 naira. It could be any amount, but whatever amount that passenger paid, it is considered as 100%, right? Now, for in this case, we're using 8,000 naira, right? Now, 100%, 2% of 100% of that 80,000 naira goes back to that service, that profit generator. That is the customer who booked that ride. That is the PYC we are talking about. 2% goes back to that passenger who booked that ride. 2% of 8,000 naira goes back to the passenger who booked that ride. That is the PYC. Now, this money that goes to the passenger who booked the ride, we are not saying it's commission. We are not saying it's bonus. No, it is money that is withdrawable anytime, any day, anywhere. Remember, I said earlier on that this is decentralized system we are building. It's a decentralized system we are building, right? Now, this person can withdraw this money anytime, any day. Use it to purchase whatever he or she wants to purchase. So that is the PYC we are talking about. Pay your customers. And if the person comes again, it will still earn the same 2% of whatever amount the trip cost. Just like that. Now, 2% goes to the platform No, the profit generator, right? Which is the passenger. Now, 10% goes to where? The company. 10% goes to the company. And what is this 10% used for? It's for global expansion. It's for global scalability. For us to launch business in China, for us to launch business in India, for us to launch business in Ghana, for us to launch business in Cameroon, for us to launch business in Kenya. Name it, all part of the work. Because we won't be calling you, shareholders of SWIFTtrip, to come contribute your $1,000, to come contribute your $2,000 for us to launch business in so and so country. No, we won't. This 10% will take care of all of the launch of business in various countries, while 5% goes to you and I that are shareholders of the company. Remember, I told you earlier on, we are selling 5% of the shares. So we, the shareholders of this business, we are going to share this 5%. And remember, we are earning according to our percentage, right? Yes, we are earning according to our percentage. Now, 5% plus 10% is 15%, plus 2% that goes to the passenger who build the ride is 1%, 17%. Now, 80% goes to the driver who rendered that service. Yes, the driver is getting the bigger share of this percentage because he's doing majority of the work. He's the one rendering the service, while you and I are at home sleeping, while you and I are at home resting rather, while you and I are at home gisting, while you and I are at home doing one thing or the other. This man is on the road trying to make this transaction happen, trying to make you and I earn. That is what it does. And coupled with the fact that this is a system that pays you even while you sleep. As you are sleeping at night in another country, this man is working, or even in that same country, he is working at night while you are sleeping and you're earning. And the comfort of wherever you are. This driver will have to fuel his car, he will have to maintain his car, and many more things. So you don't joke with the drivers. Don't joke with SWIFTtrip rather. So 80% goes to the service providers, right? Now, 80% plus 17%, that is how many percent? 97%. Now, in SWIFTtrip, you earn up to your 4th generation, whereby the first generation earns 1% of that transaction that took place. The second generation earns 0.3%. The third and fourth generation earns 0.1% respectively. The same thing goes to the driver's chain. First generation earns 1%, second generation 0.3%, third and fourth generation earns 0.1%. Now add it all together as a total of 1.5% from the passengers from the customers chain, and also 1.5 from the passengers chain. Now 1.5 plus 1.5 is how many percent? 3% plus 97%. That is a total of what? 100%. You can see how this has been distributed to everybody, to everyone, right? So it has been distributed. And also note, this analysis I made now is the e-taxi, but notwithstanding, the same thing applies to every of our services. The aviation, the e-commerce, the logistics, and the hospitality. This same thing goes through. Is that this same thing applies to all of our services. Okay? Now, quickly we want to look at who is the brain behind SWIFTtrip. Who is the brain behind SWIFTtrip? And he is our own brother in person of Honorable Richard Enadi, the hub admin of, sorry, he's not the hub admin of SWIFTtrip. He is Honorable Richard Enadi, the CEO and the founder of SWIFTtrip. He is the CEO and the founder of SWIFTtrip, a Nigerian. From where? Enugu State. This is our own. This is our brother. This is our own. Let us come together and make this thing work. We are happy for God choosing him, because if not, we wouldn't have gotten this opportunity to be here with him today. Majority of us wouldn't have known of this business. we are privileged and we are lucky to have him with us. And coupled with the fact that he is in Nigeria. He is in Nigeria, a dogged man. We really appreciate you, sir. Thank you for all you do for SWIFTtrip, and we will keep praying for God's divine wisdom upon you for the successful launch of this business. Everything that is needed, is it like mind, finance, everything that is needed, those people that will come together to take this business to the next level, they will come to us, they will come to you. Amen. Amen. And we'll keep praying for you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for availing yourself for this mighty project. We really appreciate you and we love you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, so that being said, I want to quickly look at how you subscribe how you profit as a subscriber in SWIFTtrip. Of course, now we've been able to look at all other answers. This is the cocoa. In Nigeria, we say this is the cocoa. This is the main gist. This is the main deal. You want to know how you will benefit from this business by the time we launch business. How you profit as a subscriber. Now, for us to get that, we will quickly look at how you earn in the future. How you earn in the future. Yes, we're talking about it in the future. We're saying how you earn in the future because we know that we've not launched business. Just like we said earlier on today, we've not launched business. We are the vision phase. So it's in the future that I want to look at. How are you going to earn in the future when we launch business? And for this, we won't have the time to be doing the analysis of the aviation, the logistics, the e-commerce, and the hospitality. So we just want to work with one of the services, which is the e-taxi. So we're looking at per trip profit evaluation. Per trip, if one trip happens, how much will you earn as a shareholder? Now, if one trip happened in Nigeria and it cost 8,000 naira, the trip cost 8,000 naira. Note the price of trip will vary. It will change based on the distance covered, right? Now, we're just using 8,000 as a case study here. Trip cost 8,000 naira. And for those of us in the United States, we can work with you with dollars. So we say one trip happened there in the United States and it costs $10. So you can follow and understand what we are talking about. Now, you want to know how much you will earn. It's very simple. All you need to do is to multiply the cost of trip by your ownership percentage. That's all. The cost of the trip by your ownership percentage. And if you do that, what you will get is, if you do 8,000 naira multiplied by 0.05 places 125%, what you will get is 0.03 places 1 kobo. And if you do $10 multiplied by your ownership percentage, which is 0.086 places 125 cents, what you will get is 0.086 places 125 cents. That is what you will get. Amazing. And please do not think this is small. Yes, it's not small at all. Why? Because what we are doing, the business we are doing is not a business that will lack patronage. The business we are doing is not a business that maybe we will get patronage today. Tomorrow we will then lack patronage. Next tomorrow we will lack patronage. Then 3 days later we will get. No, it's a business that does not lack patronage. It doesn't lack patronage. A transportation business, it doesn't lack patronage. No matter how much they want to say the price of fuel is, it doesn't lack patronage. No matter how much the price of gas is, it doesn't lack patronage. And this thing is something that will be happening in what? Volume. It's not, you're not coming to own a physical shop that people need to come here. If they don't know your shop, they won't be able to buy or they won't be able to patronize you. No. This is something that it's all over the world. Everywhere. And by the time it begins to happen in volume, we will know of a truth why they say little drop of water makes a mighty ocean. It makes what? A mighty ocean. You will understand that and you will hold that for life. And you will be a great testifier of that adage. Brother, small, little by little. Before you know, it will be so many, so massive. This is not something you should joke with. Don't joke with SWIFTtrip. So I've been able to show you how you earn in per trip, and someone will say it's too small. Now, quickly, I want to show you how cent 0.0 in 5 places, so in 6 places 125 cent, and 0.0 in 3 places 1 kobo. When you look at how cent and kobo can become millions, billions, and what trillions of dollars. Remember earlier on we said SWIFTtrip is the next level of innovation that will make you a trillionaire in dollars. Now let's see how possible this will be. So fast forward to 5 years after the launch of business. Fast forward to SWIFTtrip being in operation 5 years. In 5 years, we've launched business today, and in 5 years of operation, we're looking at a worst case scenario of 50 trillion trip done or performed, and a best case scenario of 3 years to perform 50 trillion trips. Worst case scenario of 5 years to perform 50 trillion trips globally. I mean, all over the world. What would you have earned or profited from this business in 5 years in operation for a worst case scenario? Now we'll still stick to the figures we use for per trip analysis, which is $10 and $8. Remember we did for $10, which gave us 0.0 in 6 places 125 cent, and we did for 8,000 naira, which gave us 0.0 in 3 places 1 kobo. Now we want to say all the trips that happen in 5 years or worst case scenario, they all cost 10,000 naira or 8,000 naira, which you and I know is not possible now. It's not possible. Now we simply do 0.0 in 3 places 1 kobo multiplied by 50 trillion trips. 50 trillion trips. If we do that simple multiplication, what we will get, 50 trillion is 50 and 12 zeros, okay, or 5 and 13 zeros. So if we do that, what we will get 0.0 in 3 places 1 kobo multiplied by 50 trillion trips, what we will get is 5 billion naira. 5 billion naira. This was the same person I showed what 0.0 in 3 places 1 kobo, and this person said it's too small. That is because this person does not understand the power of volume. Now we've been able to show this person what volume can do. The same thing I yielded for you 0.0 in 3 places 1 kobo has been able to yield for you 5 billion naira. For a worst case scenario. Now if you do that of the cent, which is 0.0 in 6 places 125 cent, multiplied by 50 trillion trips, what you will get is $6.25 million, approximately 10 billion naira if you go by 1006. Amazing. Amazing. Is this something you would want to miss out on? And let me tell you that this is not all the services, so this is just one of the 5 services we are talking about today. This is just the e-taxi. I haven't calculated for aviation, neither have I done of e-taxi. I mean e-commerce or logistic or hospitality. This is just e-taxi. Look at the kind of money we are getting or we are making from it. How much more when we bring these 5 services together? And this is the worst case scenario, sir, man. And some of you will say, oh, why do you tell me, or how do you mean that in 5 years we perform 50 trillion trips? Sir, man, please extend it to whatever year you think is possible or is feasible for us, for you, to you. Because we are looking at 5 years, worst case scenario. Whatever year is comfortable for you that you think will perform this thing, extend, is it 50 years? Do you think in 50 years that is when we'll be able to perform 50 trillion trips? Good and fine. But then it must happen. It must happen. And we are not saying you will have to wait for 50 years before you place your withdrawal. No, you can withdraw your money anytime, any day, anywhere. Remember, it's decentralized. You will see this and then decide to miss out on the opportunity. Who do you? This is not something you should miss out on. This is not something you should miss out on. Like we keep saying, if you miss out on SWIFTtrip, you will never forget the name SWIFTtrip, because by the time the person that told you about this business holds your hands and drive you with his car, it's our car, to SWIFTtrip airport and show you, see, sir, look at that business I told you some years back that you said is a scam, that you said, oh, I said on the talk, I said, look at the business here, aviation, look at their airport. Then the person brings you your phone, look at our app, look at our main business app, the e-commerce platform, the logistic platform. And the person drives you again, oh, come, see our vehicle. The person holds your hands again and say, look at one of our hotels. And what you will be seeing and not child's play, because what you will see will amaze you. Do not miss SWIFTtrip for any reason, sir, man. Do not miss SWIFTtrip for any reason. Look at how your asset has yielded for you $5 billion or $6.25 million in the space of 5 years, worst case scenario. SWIFTtrip will make you a trillionaire in dollars. It will make you a trillionaire in dollars. Don't miss SWIFTtrip. Now, we want to quickly show, we've been able to show you how you earn in the future. Right now, let's come back. Let's come back to the now. Let's come back to the now that we've not launched business. Let's see how you earn in the now that we are the vision phase. Now that we are soliciting for subscribers. Now that we are calling for like mind. Now that we are campaigning about this business. How do you earn from SWIFTtrip? Now we say we have a corporate global challenge. A corporate global challenge. Yeah. Now let's look at it. We say the speed to the global success. The speed to our global success depends on the speed at which we collectively solve our global challenge. When there is a challenge, there needs to be a solution. We need to solve that challenge. And the speed to the launch of this business depends on us. The speed to our global success depends on us. On the speed at which we collectively, not individually, we collectively solve our global challenge. As you are putting effort here, you are putting effort here, this other person is putting effort here, the other person is putting, every one of us are putting effort. We are solving this problem collectively. Then our success is closer than anticipated. Now, what is the challenge? What is the challenge? Let's quickly look at it. We say 2.4 million people to subscribe as owners of SWIFTtrip. It's a challenge. Where do I know 2.4 million people? Where do you know 2.4 million people? That is why we need to collaborate. We need to collectively solve this challenge. By the time we talk to people and they realize that we are solving the challenge. And we say, as a shareholder, every time you solve a unit of this challenge, you get paid. The companies acknowledge you and pays you. You're not doing it for free. You earn. You get paid for solving that challenge. If you decide to be our media, if you decide to be our representative out there, if you decide to talk to people, to campaign about SWIFTtrip, then you get paid. And how do you solve this challenge? I just made mention of it. If you decide to be our media, you get paid. I would say become an active campaigner, sell unit of SWIFTtrip shares, and MB from SWIFTtrip campaign pool fund. Become an active campaigner. Campaign morning, afternoon, night. Campaign on your social media handles. Campaign everywhere, in your church, in your place of work, on the street. Be an active campaigner and you earn. You came to this life with your voice. Use it to put money on your table, on your account. Don't just relax and say, oh, I'm already a shareholder, let me go relax. No. Be an active campaigner. We need you. We need every one of us. Let us solve this problem, this challenge collectively. Let us solve this challenge collectively. And you earn B from SWIFTtrip campaign pool fund. Now, this is the amount that is available for you and I to earn from. SWIFTtrip campaign sponsorship pool fund, which is $191,200,000. That is what is available for you and I today. This is something, just come and take whatever amount you feel you're comfortable with. Nobody will say, no, stop, you've taken too much, or you've taken more than what you're supposed to take. No, it is open. As you work, you earn. So how do we get it? We simply did $80 multiplied by unsold units. So with a SWIFTtrip campaign piece, how you earn as a campaigner from SWIFTtrip campaign sponsorship pool fund. Sell a share slot and earn. For every person you tell about SWIFTtrip and they register directly under you, you earn $50 because they are your direct success line. So from every of your direct success line, you earn $50 from them, right? Now, from every of your second success line that is indirect, you earn $15. For instance, I told someone about it, and that person registers, and that person tells another person, that person he told is my success, is my second generation. So I'm earning $15 from my second generation. Then for my third generation, in that manner, I'm earning $10. Then my fourth generation, I'm earning what? $5. Add it all, $50 plus 15, $50 plus $15 plus $10 plus $5. That is a total of $80 that I said earlier on will be used for campaign. So that is how you earn now that you've not launched business. So, and that's not all. We also said if you go, we have what we call extra campaign cash award. If you talk to more persons about SWIFTtrip and you're able to register 50 persons directly under you, the company still appreciate you with $50. After earning $50 from all of these 50 persons, the company still appreciate you with $50, and you are then considered SWIFTtrip runner. Okay, and then you go and you talk to more persons, you're able to get 500 persons directly under you. The company appreciate you with $1,000, and you are considered SWIFTtrip icon. You talk to more persons about it, you're able to register 5,000 persons directly under you. The company appreciate you with $10,000, and you are then considered the face of SWIFTtrip. Okay, so that is that, and we said do not miss SWIFTtrip profit share offer for any reason. Do not miss SWIFTtrip profit share offer. Now you want to make your registration. You want to make your payment. Make your payment to the company's account, which is SWIFTIFY Technologies LTD. SWIFTIFY Technologies LTD, and make a payment of $180 to the company's account. Okay, make a payment of $180 to the company's account, and once you do that, let me see if my website will open. So I will take us to the website and see. So we see how much you pay. You don't just pay $180. You go to the website and see what $180 is selling for once, because we have what we call USD outflow and inflow. So you check the inflow of what is in the website, and whatever you get, that is what you will pay. Okay, so that's trying to come up. Okay, while we're waiting for that, I don't know, since for a while now can't access my website. I'll go check this later on. So if you check the website, you will see the inflow of what is in the website. So whatever you get in that inflow, you multiply it by $180. For instance, if you see, I said for instance, if you see 1,700 on the inflow, multiply it by $180. Whatever it gives to you, that is what you will pay to the company's account number. The Nigerian account number is 200-460-7389. You will also see it there on the website, which is www.seedinvest.SWIFTtripCampaign.com. So that's it. You will see our USDT wallet there as well, the TRC20, the BEP20, and also the BTC. Okay, so you will see all of those things there. And once you've made your payment, you will send a proof of payment to the companies. You will send a proof of payment to the companies. You will send a proof of payment to that person that told you about SWIFTtrip. The person that told you about SWIFT, that's your sponsor. Okay, you also forward your full name, your phone number, and your email. Those are the details needed for your registration. Okay, your sponsor is that person that told you about SWIFTtrip, and you will send your full name, no nickname, please. Full name, phone number, and email to the person, and then you'll be registered. The person will either contact the hub admin of that state, and if there's no hub admin, the person will contact the company's admin, which is numbers on the screen: 080-366-9533-2. So that is that. And we say, if you want to book for a ticket on Saturday, that is at the headquarters. This is for those of us in River State. Those of us in River State, Port Harcourt. Our head office is number 288 Express Road. Okay, Old Aba Road, Rumokroshi, opposite Access Bank. Rumokroshi Junction, opposite Access Bank. So that's where our head office is, in River State, Port Harcourt. And do well to invite your friends. And if you're inviting your friends, and also if you will be attending the meeting, do well to send your name to this number on the screen: 09039449537. Send your full name to that number, and they will get your ticket available. Booking ends today by 6:30. Okay, so that is that. And invite your friends and earn advert, SWIFTtrip advert bonuses. Okay, so thank you very much for staying up till this very moment. We really appreciate you. Thank you for all you do for SWIFTtrip, the ambassadors of SWIFTtrip. So it's time for contributions and questions. If you have anything to say, and maybe at the course of this meeting you didn't understand one thing or the other, I will just quickly want you to raise your hands, and the privilege will be given to you to speak. So, and how do you raise your hands? Click on the middle button, the unmute button, to speak. If you look at the screen, if you look at your phone rather, you will see unmute button, the middle button on your screen. Click on it. You will be able to raise your hands, and the privilege will be given to you to speak. And while we do that, or while we wait for that, we will quickly introduce the hub admin of SWIFTtrip that are in the house today. The hub admin of SWIFTtrip that are in the house today. And we have our CEO in person of Honorable Richard Anadi. Thank you very much, sir, for all you do for SWIFTtrip. We are happy to connect with you this morning. Okay, so we also have Ambassador Dr. Tanke, who is the hub admin of SWIFTtrip in Edo State. We thank you very much, sir, for all you do for SWIFTtrip. If you're in Edo State, please do want to connect with Ambassador Dr. Tanke. Thank you very much, sir, for all you do for SWIFTtrip. We're happy to have you with us. Then we have Dr. Nna, the hub admin of SWIFTtrip in Abakaliki. Thank you very much, sir, for all you do for SWIFTtrip. We are happy to connect with you. Please, if you are in Abakaliki, do well to connect with Ambassador Dr. Nna. Thank you very much, Daddy, for all you do for us. Then we also have, who else do we have in the house? Okay. Ambassador Chukuma Cyprian. He is the hub admin of SWIFTtrip in Enugu State. If you're in Enugu, please do well to connect with Ambassador Cyprian. Thank you very much, sir, for all you do for SWIFTtrip. We're happy to have you. Please don't fail to connect with Ambassador Cyprian. Thank you very much. That is here in Enugu State. And if you are here and there's no hub admin in your state, or you want to know if there's hub admin in your state, you can also ask, and then we will let you know if there's hub admin in your state. And if there's no hub admin in your state, please do well to contact the company's admin, okay? And the admin will guide you on what to do. And we also have Ambassador Shadrach Yakubu, the hub admin of SWIFTtrip in Abuja. Thank you very much, sir, for all you do for SWIFTtrip. We're happy to have you in our midst this morning. If you're in Abuja, please do well to connect with Ambassador Shadrach Yakubu. Thank you very much, sir. All right, so like I said, it's time for question, and this is the time for you to ask a question or you have contribution. Please do well to raise your hands, and the privilege will be given to you to speak. And also for those of us that are connecting us online on YouTube or Facebook, you have questions, you have contribution, do well to put it in the comment section and it will be attended to. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. If you are listening to us, do well to connect with us tonight at 8 p.m. okay? And like I said, if you also have contribution, do well to put it in the comment section and it will be attended to. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So question